Hello and welcome to Tea, Cake and Conversation. This segment finds me in Norway and it's a balmy 2 degrees and I am sharing a cup of tea, a cake, but Lena's already eaten hers.
I got half left.
Okay. And conversation. And today really I will give you a little bit of background to Lena. Lena and I met on a spiritual course and we formed a fledgling of a friendship which has really sort of deepened over the years. And one thing I really love about Lena is that you're interesting and picking her brains and sharing conversations about many topics.
Like quantum physics.
Migraine time. But she's terrible. But one of many passions with Lena is horses and her horses and how she keeps them and how she works with them. And for me, I call it natural horsemanship. But for Lena, it means something different when I say that. So really today, this segment is picking Lena's brains about what she considers to be natural horsemanship. So Lena, take it. Just give some background here. How many horses do you have?
I have 7 horses living here.
And how do they live?
They live on a 24/7, 360 days a year turnout.
Right. 365 days a year?
How many days is in a year? How many?
365 days a year.
And I said
360.
Well, the other 5 days, I don't know what they do. They probably do their horse thing. Yeah. Well, natural horsemanship to me is a way of keeping horses.
Yeah.
We have what's called a paddock paradise.
Yeah.
And it's coined by Jamie Jackson from California.
Okay.
Who has studied the Mustangs and the way they move in their territory. And horses are designed to roam, to spend most of the day roaming, moseying around, eating, right?
Yeah.
So you want to give them space to move. Mm-hmm. And you want them to have company of other horses. The
herd.
They do not thrive in confinement, in stalls, or in paddocks where they have no company with other horses. Mm-hmm. So to have a happy, healthy horse, we have chosen to have this paddock paradise and natural horsemanship, whatever that means. Yeah.
Okay. So your 7 horses, they have space to roam. They have a safe paddock. Do you put them in individual stables?
No, we don't. But they are free to choose to go inside if they like.
So they have that option?
Yes, they have several places where they can go and be underneath a roof. If it's like sunny, very sunny, they have shade. If it's cold, rainy, snowy, they also can go and have shelter. Mm-hmm. We don't leave them out in the open. It's not that natural. We do take care of our horses.
Mm-hmm, of course.
And we feed them in hay nets, which gives them the opportunity to. They eat the hay slower because they have to work a little bit to get that hay out of the nets. Mm-hmm. And the horse's stomach is also designed to eat like 18 hours a day. Yeah. Just little amounts, but
grazing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they call it foraging in English, I think. Yeah. Because their intestines are designed to digest little food at a time, but always have something going through their system that keeps them healthy. And the opportunity to move about and to be in company of other horses keeps them healthy. And knock on wood. Is there any wood?
Your head?
Yep. We don't have the use of a veterinarian very often. Last time was 4 years ago, actually, when one of the horses were bitten in the nose by a little snake.
Oh.
Yes, but they're never lame. They don't have colic. They are a happy, healthy bunch.
Yeah.
And the grand old man, he's 20, still fit as a fiddle.
And with, obviously, on here on the camera, you can see that we have snow. And today is a warm day at 2 degrees. So do you rug your horses?
No, we do not rug our horses. And the reason why we don't is because the horse's body is very intelligent. Mm-hmm. The hair, if you leave it, if you don't shave it off, they will grow hair. So the fur will keep them warm, right?
And that's why Willem, who you've already mentioned, looks a bit like a woolly mammoth.
Yes, he does. And he's not cold.
No.
And what would happen if we put a rug on him? It would flatten his fur.
Yeah.
And it will keep, it wouldn't be like the air. Mm-hmm. It will be flattened.
Because it's the air that insulates, is that right?
The air that insulates. And at the end of each hair, there is a little muscle that regulates how the fur will be. Like, it will be very puffy. On extremely cold days, they're like puffed up.
Yeah.
And when it's not as cold, the hair is kind of more flattened.
Yeah. So just thinking, listening, hearing what you're saying. So in the animal world, when you see it's cold and you see birds and they puff up their feathers,
it's the same
principle.
Same principle. And another thing is that when you cover a horse with a rug, it's not going to cover its belly, its intestines. So the thermostat of the horse gets kind of confused. Mm-hmm. And if you just leave it to nature, to let them grow their fur, and you help them to get out of the harsh weather that can be here in Norway.
Yeah.
Let nature. Nature is intelligent.
Yeah.
Far more intelligent than we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we feel, we as in humans, we feel that the need to control, and that is also something for you in your natural horsemanship, that you say what about the horses? It's natural to cooperate.
Yes.
And
that's how they live, right?
Yeah. We hear horses.
That's horses. It's neighbors' horses and the neighbors' dogs and birds, and it's no bees, but that's another story. Yeah. What was the question?
About what you feel natural horsemanship is about, that you feel that it's important to have the cooperation.
Yes.
There was other words that you used that were integral to what natural horsemanship means to you. You
cooperate with a horse, and it's based on trust and respect.
That's it. Cooperation, trust and respect.
Based on trust and respect. We will never use any dominance or I think it's feeding time at the neighbors.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. We will never use any methods that induce pain to get what we want. Because that will make the horse not want to trust you, right? If you inflict pain, it's like your kid. If you want your kid to listen to you, you don't use any violence, right? Mm-hmm. No, you try to understand, and you try to find a way to cooperate based on mutual trust and respect, right? This does not mean, however, that you would just be like touchy-feely. No, because it's an animal. It's 500-600 kilos. You have to be the leader. Mm-hmm. You have to show them who's the boss. But there are so many ways of doing that. And we do that every day when we feed them, right? Mm-hmm. So I expect them to be polite when they come with the food.
Yeah.
Yes. So they will have to take a few steps back before they get the food. And that's my way of showing them who's the boss. Right?
Right.
I don't ever have to be mean.
But if you use, say, violence or, a forceful way with a horse, and you induce a fear-based relationship with that horse, for me, that's a dangerous situation to be in, because, as you've said, that's a 600-kilogram animal with a mind of its own. So this human need to control, and often through force and manipulative cooperation, is that like a ticking time bomb? In your opinion?
Yes, in my opinion. If you are out riding and the horse gets frightened for something, and they can get frightened from a plastic bag or an umbrella or a the odd tractor that is parked out in the trails, right?
Right.
And so that horse is going to be startled.
Yeah.
That happens. My horses get startled, but they will not take the matters in their own hooves. I like that. And run off, right? Because I know that that tractor is not going to eat my horse, or that plastic bag that just blew up from the
It's
ditch.
not a saber-toothed tiger.
It is not. And I can keep calm.
Yeah.
And if I'm calm and the horse trusts my judgment, most likely he will be calm also, right? But if that horse did not trust you, he might just turn around and just
Take off
run,
with you.
because that's their natural instinct, to run away from danger, right?
And didn't you say something about their natural instinct is to run about a quarter of a mile without looking back?
Yeah. They run, and then when they put some distance between themselves and what frightened them, they will then turn around and figure things out.
So if you're in a position of forced cooperation with that horse, you're not going to be able to stop that from happening. But if the horse has you, if I'm right in what I'm understanding, if the horse has that trust and that mutual cooperative relationship, that when he sees or perceives a threat, he will hand that judgment over to you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And you go, hey, dude, we're good.
We're good. I would pet him on the neck, and I would let him stand there, and maybe he would be going like, that's what they do. They snort and they get startled. And I would just pet him on the side of his neck, and I would try to calm him down, It's not going to be a catastrophe.
Well, there's a story that you shared with me that perhaps you can share with people watching about over here in Norway, like many countries of the world, New Year's Eve is mad for fireworks. And when you have a herd of 7 horses that are outside, if they choose, that can be quite a tricky situation to navigate. So I think I'm right in remembering that you're not out reveling on a New Year's Eve. What is it that you're doing?
I will go up by the horses, and I will go to Willem, because he's the one that's most nervous on New Year's Eve. And I will stand by them, and I will pet them, and I will tell them that, it's not the end of the world today. And I know it's not the end of the world. So my calmness will calm him down, right? And when he's calm, the other horses will look at him, and they will go, well, maybe this is not so bad. So I have many times stood by my horses watching the fireworks, and I know they are concerned, but they trust my judgment, and they don't run.
So because you're with Willem, our little chicken licking of the herd on New Year's Eve, because you're with him and you're keeping him calm, because he's not going to do what is in his nature, that flight animal instinct, he's putting that responsibility over to you. You're keeping him calm. He's sharing that space with you. That keeps the rest of the herd safe, because am I right then to think that if he were to run, the rest of the herd will follow?
Most likely.
That's dangerous.
You would not want 7 horses run on ice and snow on New Year's Eve, and through the fences and out on the highway or the train tracks or whatnot. Because I read about that every first day every year from people that have horses that have panicked and ran off. And that can happen.
So for you, the epitome then of natural horsemanship really is your cooperation, your trust, and the respect between the two. So between the horse and between the rider.
That is true, and it makes it so much more enjoyable, because I know that the horses likes to be with us. They will come up to the fence and say hi. They like folks, because nobody is ever allowed to be mean to the horses when they're out riding or training. And it's so much more safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an enjoyable experience then for horse and rider.
Yes. How could that not be?
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Good. Thank you for sharing your thoughts today on natural horsemanship and your take on it. It's been interesting to hear you speak. For me, I have enjoyed listening to Lina, and she is a font of knowledge on horses and the energy work that can happen between humans and a horse. So there will be further segments and conversations with Lina on this topic. I do hope you've enjoyed what you've seen today, and I hope that you will join us again. And in the meantime, please feel free to subscribe to Tea Cake and Conversation channel. Thank you for being with us today.
Cheers.